that this is about to happen. The FBI, according to my source, is about to wrap up their investigation into the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, that's what we've been hearing from a lot of people with inside sources into the FBI and the DOJ. Of course, Dan Bongino has stated before that the FBI is looking into other people and networks as well.
The end of this investigation, it's not even the end of the beginning of the investigation. We've just started, but we are investigating a potential broader network of people who may have known, and we've had some, I think I can tell you comfortably on your show tonight, we've had some developments in the case.
However, from everything I've seen, I think they're gonna bury this story by either distracting us with some other big incident or by just pretending not to notice us, like they did with the Epstein files. And that's why it's even more important that independent media sources keep asking questions. Because at the end of the day, Charlie Kirk would have done the same. I know people have very short memories, but surely you guys remember how diligently he was trying to point out every shady thing about the Butler shooting. And he was doing it because it's our job to ask questions and force these extremely shady three-letter agencies to give us the truth. Of course, I've been trying to do that for 2 weeks now, and I still keep finding things that make no sense. For instance, there were so many reports of shots being fired near the library.
Is on top of the building on the far north side, just east of the library, wearing jeans, black shirt, black vest. Just advising, there is another report. Gunshots heard near the library at UVU. They're trying to lock the library down now, still gathering.
She's saying they just got another report of shots fired at UVU library.
Spoke to a student, said that the shooter is on top of the building on the far north side, maybe the CS building or just east of the library. He's wearing jeans, black shirt, black mask, long rifle.
I've got an individual over here who said she witnessed the shooting, and it's different than what she saw from what the news is saying. She's over here at McDonald and would like to meet with an officer that would take a report on this.
They locked down the library, and as you can see from the map, the shooter would have had a clear shot at Charlie from that direction as well. And yet, there's no information about what really happened here. Also, after going through the footage once again, I found something quite strange just moments before the shot was fired.
It would be in the camera, and they just move.
And yes, this helicopter noise could be heard over and over again. And yet, we never heard a thing about any helicopter in the area. In fact, dispatch calls prove that law enforcement helicopters hadn't arrived there. This feels just like the whole drone situation, which was buried instantly even though there are so many unanswered questions about it. And this whole mysterious flying object situation keeps getting more and more insane. For instance, I'm sure you remember the private jet that flew out of Provo Airport and turned off its flight tracking for 47 minutes before showing up in Arizona. Now, the owner of that plane said that law enforcement was not looking into anyone involved with that flight. Well, someone tried to get the records of the Provo Airport to check the claims made by the owner. And interestingly, the request was reportedly denied as those records are now part of an ongoing investigation. And that's the problem with this whole thing. We know where we can get the answers, but out of nowhere, we all get blocked. I mean, I want you guys to tell me if George Zinn is acting normally in any way before this shooting. Of course not, and no one can get answers from him anymore since he's likely gonna be behind bars for a very long time. Did Kash Patel ever address the tampering of evidence? The answer is no. No, he did not, because they are hell-bent on this whole lone gunman theory. This, of course, has been debunked by a lot of people who show that rifle was likely not used for this crime. And on top of that, there are videos of people on rooftops all around Charlie's tent. Who the hell were these people? We simply don't know. Then there's this whole problem with the description of the assassin, because apparently he did not really look like Tyler Robinson.
Is going to be wearing all black, black long gun, black tactical helmet, a black mask, possibly wearing a tactical vest and jeans.
Since we are not given accurate information, people have tried to go to the crime scene to see if they can find some clues for themselves. Of course, that's a crime, and you should not be doing that, but this shows how pretty much no one believes what the FBI is saying. I told you how people are even questioning if Charlie really got shot or not, and that's just one of the wildest theories on the internet. There's even this whole Snake Eyes situation that's also freaking out a lot of people.
Ben tweets out, in the 1998 movie Snake Eyes, Charlie Kirkland gets shot in the exact same spot in the neck that Charles J. Kirk did. And he says, note, Nicolas Cage yells Tyler, and he's pointing to the same spot on his neck. And then there's also this all-seeing watching eye over the top. Okay, and then somebody else, I don't know what all this checks out, but check this out. So Darda said, check this out. In the 1998 film Snake Eyes, a politician named Charlie Kirkland gets assassinated by a sniper on September 10th at a boxing event. The boxer's name is Tyler, the Executioner. Believe everything except your eyes, in the tagline. Holy shit. Okay.
Look, we have a long history of important people getting silenced in this country. And every single time, these incidents are used to manipulate the public or push a political or social agenda. That's why we cannot let that happen again. You can criticize me all you want, but I'm telling you, Charlie's death is going to be used by some very powerful people to silence their critics. And before you tell me I'm wrong, let me just show you what the president said in his UN address.
I'm announcing today that my administration will lead an international effort to enforce biological weapons convention, which is going to be meeting with the top leaders of the world by pioneering an AI verification system that everyone can trust. Hopefully the UN can play a constructive role, and it will also be one of the early projects under AI. Let's see how good it is, because a lot of people are saying it could be one of the great things ever, but it also can be dangerous, but it can be put to tremendous use and tremendous good, and this would be an example of that.
Now, the president said a lot of important things in his speech, but these words stuck with me because I know exactly where they came from. I'm talking about Larry Ellison, who became the richest person in the world only days after this shooting. And of course, I'm also talking about Epstein's business partner, Peter Thiel, who is taking over the Department of Defense at an insane pace. Both these guys have extremely deep-rooted connections to our surveillance agencies, and they've been talking about using AI for surveillance. Now they get close to President Trump, and suddenly he's gung-ho on using AI to track us. And you're telling us we should not be alarmed? Don't you know that this was one of the key elements of the Agenda 2030? And speaking of Agenda 2030, its author, Bill Gates, was part of the dinner where the president met with 33 tech leaders. And let me just show you what Bill said at this meeting.
And my second career is innovation, innovating in health in areas like vaccines or gene editing, and the president and I are talking about taking American innovation to the next level to cure and even eradicate some of these diseases. He mentioned polio, which is one that we're close. We don't need new science on that one. For some like HIV and sickle cell, we do need new science, but the U.S. Has the seeds that in the same way that Warp Speed took those seeds and put them together, I think something fantastic can be done. AI for our foundation is that we want a doctor for everyone in Africa through AI. We want farmers to have incredible advice and, kids to have a chance to learn. So
President Trump won the election by campaigning against everything that Bill was saying right there. And yet now this billionaire has wormed his way into the White House, and we should just ignore it? Look, my friends, you can close your eyes all you want, but I'm going to keep exposing these pricks as long as I can. I don't care about the numbers, but your comments matter a lot to me. So please keep sharing your honest opinion with me and everyone in this community. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.